It's not like that's a dog. On the front, yeah.
Mickey, why'd you put it here?
Yeah.
Is this her? I know. I'm just messing with Hey, real quick before we get started, with the person next to you, partner up with someone. I just want you to do one round. Just give me one PR call. Set up one PR with your partner. Run one quick role play. All right, just to get things rolling. All right.
Hey, Tori, how are you? This is Charles. I work with your friend Dylan. How are you? Good, I'm good. Did Dylan tell you? This is Charles. I work with your friend Dylan. I'm sorry to catch you out the blue. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. The reason why I'm calling you is because your friend Dylan just started with us. I wanted to keep it on because this one, he put in one of the possibilities of entering for the spring. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit about the finish it, and then if it sounds like something you're interested in, and it's something you can talk about, I got to. Yeah. Just make sure you're qualified and ready to skate to your goal. Okay, cool. The position we have available is in customer service and sales. So, Tori, what you can do without me is meet with customers, enjoy your products, and answer their questions. Just so you know, there's no door going without marketing involved. First, you think that's really weird. Experience is not required, but we do, however, provide a free training in 7 years. And then within the paid gives $50 which is not based on sales or commissions. We do have a commissions pay as well, so you will be making more than you work out for. Now, Tori, are you yeah. Sophomore, freshman, junior, okay, when you said business, when you want to get into awesome. The reason why I asked about school is I know a lot of people scholarships. Actually, So Sunday church and then tomorrow just got Christmas shopping. So it looks like I'm squeezing in tomorrow at 6:05. Sound good? Great. As soon as possible. I do need to I just want to change things around in the game. It's started right today. I can't wait the last day. And I just so here. Okay. And then you send out an email confirmation.
This guy.
He looks like a Argon, right? Looks like an older version of Peter.
Now, if you have any trouble finding correction,
Oh, I know. No.
The
first 40 minutes goes up to.
We'll stop it. Wait, the first thing, remind me again, first section, what?
I'm going to do what's here. My name is Charles. Actually, you can say hi. I'm on the page. First, I'm going to great candidates. I'm doing what you love. I'm going to send you tomorrow at 6:15. All right? Otherwise, it's just a call to get lost. All right. Have a great night.
Can you be my disciplinarian right now? Thank you. And anyone else that comes in? Like when you be on standby, when they come in, call them out and talk to them.
Actually, I got PlayStation Online. Let's go back and forth. Oh, wow. I actually got invited, but I actually can't go to the road myself. Yeah, I ain't a lot of athletes, so I got a lot of athletes. Yeah, no,
You pull them. Hey, Laisla, we're going to get started, and you want to go ahead and comment, Pau, you can comment all the attendance on one comment, and then all the light bulbs as we go. Thanks, guys. As I said, in that case,
I was unsure about it. Trying to beat it? All right, guys, we're gonna get started. I wanted to formally kick off prep today. I asked Jeff to, bring him up just because this particular prep is very important to me. I know some of you right now are on pace for branch. Some of you, you're nowhere near it. Some of you are somewhere in the middle where you want to branch, but you really haven't quite made the cut yet. Regardless of where you are right now, the winter break is the biggest chance that you really have to really step up your game. And even if you don't earn a spot, because again, it's very competitive right now, earning a spot, period, in any office, in any management position, right now is the most important, time for you to really step up your game. So, you know, this prep, everything that he's going to cover today is really going to help you focus and just realign, you know, where you're at and everything that you should be focusing on for the winter break. So just make sure you're taking a lot of notes. Obviously, giving Jeff energy and being respectful the entire time. Those are things that are assumed being part of the FC, of course. You know, but really just take a chance to, you know, reunite. Everyone's back home from, you know, other offices and that kind of stuff. And I'm excited for the holiday party later today. There'll be some white elephant gift exchanging and a lot of food and stuff like that. So we're going to have fun later, but right now it's time to work. So again, work hard, play hard. Really is the time, you know, that you're going to do that. So I hope everyone's prepared and ready. And I'd like to bring up our fearless leader, Mr. Jeffrey Gamble. Yeah.
Every time you say quote fearless leader, I feel like I want to just jump off something and like fly. Yeah. And the white elephant has been purchased.
Nice. It was almost great.
Are you laughing? It's in the back. So when you hear this, it's the white elephant gift exchange. We're gonna start with a rapid run of what's how well you appreciate. I think it's important to recognize where we're at, and thanks, Karina, for I think bringing some excitement and energy to the game. But I also want to bring some objective reality to where we're at right now. Okay, or let me rephrase that. I'd like to keep it real and keep it real with you to start the prep. And if I'm gonna keep it real, I'm going to keep it real by saying, number one, the FC is in an unbelievable place right now because the company is in an unbelievable place right now. The company is in an unbelievable place right now because of the people that we have, the direction of the company, how kick, you know what, the product is right now, all the things that are adding to the business, the exciting moves the company is making. And I can just tell you from leadership top down, that's always the place you want to be. You want to play for the team where the leadership down is great. You want to play for the coach where the leadership down is great. You want to work for and with a company where the leadership down is great. And the leadership down is unbelievable here. I say that because I feel like I'm the liaison from executive to you guys. I'm the liaison from the Stitz, that unbelievable family that keeps Cutco private to help the management, that keeps Cutco in the US to keep the pride and to keep that factory and that unbelievable, now you know, town of Olean running. Never thought you'd be so in love with a small town in upstate New York, huh? And that funky, you know, the 448 steel smell now? You can't explain until you walk in the factory. Say, okay, anyway. I represent the liaison from that executive team, and I would also put the Scott Dennises and the Amar DeVays of the world and the Aldi Leonardos of the world to the district manager and to the branch manager level, okay? I have a really scary, exciting, unique, and not so unique opportunity to be ambassador from the leadership of the company to, I would say, the boots on the field. That includes the districts in the back, by the way. That's why they're here. This includes the people that, if you will, grind every day, that put the grind in. You guys still understand? Is that your terminology? Get your grind on? No?
Yeah.
Workflow, that workflow, though, or something? I don't know. I'm just trying to relate. Where's Chino? Yeah, we'll talk tomorrow at training, okay? You like sports, right? We'll talk about the heat. That, of all the things, that's what you like the most, right? Okay, I felt pretty cool. So as the ambassador, I think I have to be politically correct, objective, upfront, and I have to keep it real with you that we're in such a great place. And we'll say, so to speak, this bus is moving forward and it's shooting forward. And 2015, I can't tell you how almost reinvigorated my career is now going into my 19th summer. Damn, 19th summer. And you know, the concept of reinvention, and you reinvent yourself and you find different ways. And you take an athlete who's been around for how many years and they reinvent their game and they reinvent who they are and what they're about. And I feel like the company's done a great job of finding the right people, putting them in the right spots and the right seats and get this bus rolling. And we're all reinventing ourselves. I think about the division manager team right now across the country, all 36 of us. We've split up into 7 groups called task force. And it's essentially like projects to make the business better. I just got back and they forced me to fly to New Orleans for the day, eat the food, go to a Pelicans NBA game. Awful. I got to see Kevin Durant play back for the first game. It was terrible. They made me go. And free booze. Awful. You can laugh. That's it. Okay. And the not fun part of it is that we sat down with, I got to be with Danny Feldman, a Ryan Casey, if you know these legends in the business, a PJ Potter, the region manager of the Western region, just to name a few great names. And we collaborated for 24 hours on how to, and our specific task force was how do we move productivity and create high productivity for our teams. And it was a unique brain session. It's I can tell you, if you're really into creative juices, there's nothing more creative than putting people from all across the company with the same mission. And we came up with some awesome things. We came up with like just not that these are going in this direction, but just cool things like my thought was, what about a field training Uber app? Right? You want to field train? Okay, let me click on my field training Uber. Who's available? Click, and then someone responds, and they come get you. I know. I think that's pretty cool. Just because I took Uber to the hotel and I thought about it. Or things like adjusting fast start prizes or adjustments to the training and things that we haven't really thought about, but the company is paying for this to make the move. So it's worth it. As liaison, I say you're in a really good place. I also want to keep it real that this bus is moving. It's exploding. It's going to be in an exciting direction. But you either have to get on the bus or you have to get off the bus. Otherwise, there's no in between. The in between is your legs caught in the door and they're dragging you through the street. That's really bad analogy. I know it's really awful. But you think about that. Either get on the bus, and if you're a big Jim Collins fan, Jim Collins says in the book Good to Great, the first step is to get the right people off on the bus and the wrong people off the bus. And the second step is to get them in the right seats. Okay. So right now, between now and year-end awards night, this is who's going to be on the bus, who's going to get off the bus, and then after awards night, who's going to go in what seats, and I'm going to be the bus driver, right? Sit down, right? Like the bus driver. I never took the bus growing up because I probably would have gotten bullied, but I'm going to be that bus driver for the bus known as FC. It's going to be this really awesome plush red bus. If there were a school bus, right? There were a school bus, and it would be the FC school bus. You can imagine that. And some of you are going to get on the seats, and the district manager is going to be up there with the clipboards. Welcome to the bus, right? And then Randy actually will be up there in the front, like, oh, you don't have a ticket. Get out. Right? And then you have Karina in the back monitoring people who get in late, try to get on the bus late, right? And then you got Ricky over at the PSM just kind of like monitoring and holding people accountable. And then there's going to be some point where we're going to ask people to get off the bus. And here's the thing I will say, and I say this with respect, I say this with excitement, but I say this with a lot of confidence. If you are off the bus by the time the FC 2015 bus rolls, I can assure you it's not personal, but don't have that regret. All right, you're going to see this bus, and the house music's going to go on, probably that song that I'm so in love with right now, this pumping song. And there are going to be strobe lights inside the bus, and it's going to be going towards the summer of 2015, and you're going to be sitting there watching going, damn. And everyone's going to be like, in the back of the bus in the window, bye, see ya, sorry you couldn't go. Right? And I'm trying to bring some levity and fun to the analogy, but I've been on that side of the bus. I've been the branch candidate who was cocky and thought I had a branch locked up. In fact, I picked my territory. You like that? I picked my territory. I'm going here. Oh, did the division manager tell you? No, that's because, I sold so much last summer and I was in the #1 rep in the nation. So, and I just cut a check because, when you sell that much, you have all this money on the side and withholdings. Well, I have $6,000 in startup, no problem. Because I was on the buy a branch program, right? I was going to buy a branch for my division manager. And that call, when I got the call and said, essentially in not so many terms, you're on B squad, you didn't make the cut. Like this. So what? I remember thinking, what? Well, Jeff, you haven't showed up to this. You're always late to this. Yeah, that was me, by the way. Right? You think you got this. You can't even drill for this. You cut a check so long ago. You haven't sold anything since the summer. And there's this big letdown, disappointment. And by the way, that year, that Oriole division, which has turned into the DC Metro division, which is now the division it is now, it had its best year ever. I remember watching from the sideline. As an assistant, I woke up, right? My light bulb went off. I said, I can't be completely up the bus. I have to be at least on that trailer that's hitched onto the back. So I got into that little U-Haul trailer, and I got on, and I was the head of that trailer, man. I was the head assistant in that office, but I almost didn't get that. And I remember the feeling of that bus is leaving, and I could have been on the bus. In fact, I had a seat with my name on it, and I let it go. And that's what I don't want for all of you. But I also want to say you're here, and that does mean something. But you can't just be here. right? There's no earning by osmosis. There's no learning by osmosis. You know what I mean? You can't just show up, doesn't just process, and there's no earning. Hey, I just showed up. Woody Allen says 90% of success is showing up. That's actually not true here. It is showing up, but it's what you do with the time, right? What do they say? It's not, we don't get paid by the hour. Who knows? We get paid by the value, Mary Lou, that we bring to the hour. And what value are you bringing? I also want to remind you of the concept of your stock. The concept of your stock. You know, my dad always says, you're a Gamboa, that means something different. I don't care what the other kids are doing. That sounds familiar, right? Sounds like everything I say to you guys. And I love that because I've watched my dad raise our family, and I raised the division the same way. And what's your stock? When you sign FC on your final push evaluation of how your push went, are you proud that you signed FC? When you get up and do your drill for skill today, or in the breakout, or you have a one-on-one PC and I ask you questions about where you're at with management training, are your answers representative of where you'd like to be in the best version of you as a management AGL candidate, or is it disappointing? And you can change that. Whatever the answer is, you can change that. And that's the greatest thing about what we do. We take young people with lack of, in some case social, not all the time, social, business acumen, business experience, professionalism, opportunity to be in business, and we give you a vehicle to do it. And man, I can't tell you how exciting, and I take a lot of pride in that, and I don't take that responsibility lightly. I'm here on Friday because I've got a little less than 40 people who want an unbelievable, most powerful, professional, and personal, not just professional, and personal growth experience. And if you only get one or the other, I have failed miserably. If you get a professional experience, but you're still the same student that when you started with us, fail. If you are a better person, but you get no business experience, fail. And that's the whole point. Because you can go to a personal conference, you should go to Anthony Robbins, sorry, I'm pitching. And you can get a lot of personal experience there. You can go for an internship at an astound institution and get great professional experience, but no personal experience. But we want here, as always, to have your cake and eat it too, to own the bakery, as I say. Here you're gonna own the bakery, but you gotta get both. And it's a relationship, right? I'm going to give the prep. The district managers, Randy and Kareem in the back, are going to give the prep. Ricky, as the PSM, that coveted PSM position, is going to bring it for the prep. Our next level group, for darn sure, going to bring it for the prep. And those of you that feel like you're next level, and you kind of associate yourself with next level because you hang out with next level and you act like next level, you're going to bring it for the prep. But who else will bring it for the prep? How many of you are here today thinking, you know, I never wanted to go branch, but I'm still here, so I'm going to get an assistant spot? Fail, because that's not happening. How many of you have already decided what office you're going to be in? Fail. That's not happening. How many of you are here, don't even know why you're here? Fail. It's not happening. And all the fails on our part. But that's why the buck stops here. And this meeting is so important. That's why Karina says it. This meeting is so important about the future of FC, about the company. I can tell you when it's August 31st, I think that's the date, Randy, right? We have our DM retreat and our DM staffer for the fall. We will have had SC1, SC2, SC3. We'll have had our first management prep for the fall of 2015, my 14th management cycle. Crazy, right? We will have our new management candidates. Several of you, if not most, I would say 70 to 80% of you will be next level. Some of you will be senior next level because it's now your third or fourth or fifth time. 5 to 10 of you will be DMC's district manager candidates, where there's no way in hell now you're thinking about it, but in August you're actually having conversations about continuing with the knife gig past college. How does that work? I don't know. I can't even tell you since 2000 I still don't know why I'm here. I do know why I'm here. Right? And we're gonna be sitting there at this district staff meeting and we're gonna be laughing going, do you remember we were at that prep? Do you remember January, December prep? Remember going to the awards night before the Punta Cana push? And we're gonna have examples. And who's gonna be the story? Who's gonna be the, remember so-and-so? What a hot mess he or she was. And look at them now. Cue Chris Brown. Right? Making paper. Okay. So, sorry. I think it's so cool, but can you be that story? And for as disappointed as I am in several actions in the last, I don't know how many weeks or months, even today with people showing up certain ways, fine. But can you change your story? Because you're always in control. And that's the thing I'll tell you. If you quit tomorrow and Cutco doesn't work out, and if you don't get a powerful professional personal growth experience, I hope you get 3 things from this. and their time with us. Number one, you know how to be a respectful student, because I feel like people your age aren't, but you are. Respectful and professional. That's one thing I hope you gain from just this experience. Number two is how to have a vision for yourself beyond your peers. To want more than what your friends have, to have something different and unique. Okay? And number three, the ability and the understanding of the concept of control. No one here is helpless. None of you are helpless. No one here is a victim. Screw that. I want to use the other word. Okay? No one here is a victim. You're always in control. The worst state of mind in the world is to be what? Helpless. No one here is helpless because we can help. So by definition, you're not helpless. You can help who? Yourself. By definition, you're not helpless. So when you sit in prep today, you evaluate yourself. Are you the 1080-10? Oh man, this thing always comes back to haunt me. There's a concept called 1080-10. Right? All right. 10% of you or last 10% of you, I already know who you are because you can't stop nodding. Your neck hurts now from nodding in approval of everything I'm saying, and you haven't stopped nodding this whole damn, I don't know how long I've been preaching here, and I really have been preaching. I feel like I need a robe. Okay? And 10% of you here, every time I give an example that's not positive, your shoulders shrug down and you like hide. Physically, I can even see it in your face, and it's so funny. It's really interesting. Okay? You like public speaking, you like physical dynamics of people. It's just so fun. Right? And then 80% of you, you're somewhere in between. I don't care where you are right now. I care where you are by January 24th at awards night in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't care where you are then. I care where you are by the next prep in March and February. I don't care where you are then. I care what happens when we're in summer kickoff, where this year we're doing summer kickoff with the North Florida division and the Coastal division, the new Ben Jackson division, probably in Jacksonville. That's going to be awesome. Right? We're going to have more people there. It's going to be localized. We don't have to fly. It's cheaper. It's easier. We're going to have more attendance. And it's going to be three unbelievable divisions together. Right? And I don't care how we are at summer kickoff. I care how we are by the first staff meeting in, Karina, Randy, Ricky, late May, the first staff meeting of the summer. And then I don't care where you are by the first meeting of the staff meeting of the summer. I care what happens when we get to SC1 and then SC2 and then so forth and so forth. Okay? So a couple of thoughts I want to share with you, and I'm going to dive in. Notice I didn't have a whole PowerPoint because I already knew what I wanted to spit to you guys today. And thou shalt spit, okay? Or thou hath spit on thee, okay? Number one, control. And I just want you to write that down or type it up. Just the concept of control, right? I'm over victims in FC. I'm over anyone, oh, I got this, woe is me. Everyone's got something. We all do. I do. You do. Charles has something. I have something. Tori. I don't have time. I'm not sleeping. Ask Tori. He's got a kid. Same thing. He doesn't have time. He's not sleeping. You've got books. He's got poopy diapers. Okay? I've got a family. Fill in the blank. And, ready? With all due respect, and my prayers and positive thoughts and support always go to you. If you don't know that, then you don't know me. But we all have that too. And the best part about this whole thing is you're going to navigate through it, and you're going to be better for the navigation. A smooth sea never skilled a sailor, right? Or never that thing.
Nothing. Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah. You don't create great sailors with a smooth, easy, calm sea. Okay? So control, the concept of control is so important. Two, the concept that comes up every freaking prep. And if you don't know this concept, you're definitely, say, who said it? Circle of influence. It is still applicable right now. All right? The poorest matrix scores are always hanging out together. In fact, you're all sitting together. It's really interesting. In a really weird way, not definitively, and I can't just match it. Like in my mind, I have a depth chart of where everyone's at and who's here. You're all sitting next to each other for the most part. It's really interesting. Or pockets of it. It's really cool. You're okay? Circle of influence. Who do you give your energy to? Who do you speak to? Who represents you? I think that's so important. They always say that, what's the saying is, the term friends is used so loosely, I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. Okay? Take out friends, take out colleagues, take out team members, take out who you associate with. If someone were to say, who's your crew in your AGL team? Who would you put in your crew? Do you have anyone you can put in? Do you have too many people that you just list off everyone? Do you just say blank, the name of your office, because you're from that office? Some of you probably don't want that. I don't know. But whatever's best for you, you got to find the circle of influence that's going to influence you best. Okay? Whatever you're lacking in, find the person who'll fill that void. Okay? The third concept is that CPO is still going to talk, and now it's going to scream. There's some stupid Facebook I saw the other day. I don't even know what it is. It's a bunch of women in a yoga class, and there's one person is in this like fuzzy bear suit. It looks like oh, the Grinch, and all of a sudden he goes, ah! Just screams out loud. You seen that? I couldn't stop laughing. I could not stop laughing for about 3 minutes straight. And Heidi came in and says, "What are you laughing at?" I couldn't even explain. She goes, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, I just can't explain. Your CPO is going to be like that. It's going to be disruptive. It's going to make noise. It's going to cause emotion. It's going to captivate and control people. It's going to be out of control. Your CPO is going to talk right now. If you have a lot of startup and startup's not an issue, your CPO is going to lead. Okay, that's a big thing. Your CPO is going to give confidence. They're about, I would say, 10 to 20% of you, where you don't need the CPO for the money, more so you need it for what's going to do inside of you and how what it's going to bring out and the confidence it's going to bring out. I think of the Mary Lou factor. You know, I don't know how many months or years ago we had this "you need to poop or get off the pot" conversation, and it was really that. It was that straight. I was like, Mary Lou, and may I share the story?
Yeah. For
the most part, you love the story. Mary Lou, for essentially, was what I call a lifer in AGL. Just always around, under 15K, forever. Just, I love the growth. What do you love about the meeting? Her debrief was never about CPO skills or learning about the office or, man, this is an awesome, like Chino's all pumped about how to connect. Those were never her comments. It was always, I just love the culture. I just love everyone here. Love, 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 love culture, culture, culture. It's just fun. And I had a conversation that you need to poop or get off the pot, Mary Lou. And she was like, right? I didn't say it offensively. I said, you need to sell or you're not going to be here. And I think I disrupted her. I said, you're not going to have an assistant position again for like the 6th campaign in a row. And it's so funny. She sold more in, I think, 3 weeks. I don't know. She sold, whatever that time frame was, she sold more. And I said, when the hell was this your first summer? You know, right? And it's so funny how you rise to the occasion. There's a lot of pooping to get off the pot. I want to, who's been here for more than, who for you, raise your hand if this is not your first year. A lot more people this year, prep. You guys know how many people were at this prep last year? Half, baby. I probably wanted to do that. Literally, I have the agenda. I have the depth chart from last year with branches A and B squad together. Dart, do you remember this prep last year? Yeah. Not this size. No. Okay. So I just want to show you by the physicality of this prep how big things are getting, which means we're not very needy right now. And I want to say this in the most respectful way. We don't need, the company doesn't even need me technically, although I'd like them to have me, right? Like, we don't need it, but we want everyone here. There's no reason why all 40 would, I guess the number, including Puerto Rico, is closer to 50. Doesn't matter. We should have everyone here. But we're not client the bit. It's not like, oh, like for Karina's office, it's like, oh, please work hard because we need an assistant. I have 6 people who are client the bit to be part of a Silver Cup contending office next year. P Banquet, 100K straight up first fall. Top 2-3 new district managers in the region. You don't think people are clawing at the bit? There are like 10 people who want that, and there's a big pool of candidates. Puerto Rico, it's the same bird. It's like Puerto Rican version down there with POW. You don't think people want to be in those offices? We've got district managers. We got potential district managers in May because of our new system with David. Maybe in Puerto Rico. I don't know. You don't think people want to move there and be part of a new office there? You don't think people are clawing to be in the Randy Excellent district office, right? Or the Leslie Soto or the Christian Lopez, right? Tori Isaac is opening up a new office. You don't think it's going to be exciting to be whatever organization he's in? We've got people everywhere. Oh, and let's not forget, we have something called the Big Dance. We have something called seminars we've already run. We have something called January recruiting. You don't think of all those people that might want to take spots and be assistants? So what's great from my standpoint, think of me as the coach. Think of me, and ready, I don't care what your preferences in football is, because my team is terrible. College anyway, right? But I'm like Nick Saban, Alabama. I don't have a hard time asking people if you'd like to consider playing for us. Would you like to possibly maybe come play for the team that's always in the top 3 every year? And we all go to the NFL. maybe you think you could come to this team and want to try out for us? No, he goes to them. Hey, we like you. Oh, word? Wow. Thank you, Mr. Saban. And if you know what I'm talking about, really good team. We don't need people to come to us. We just pick who we want. And that's where we're at right now. And I know it might seem like a lot of talk. Actions speak louder than words when you got double the amount of people. I don't have, right? Last year, someone said, you're just really good at hyping it up. I don't have to hype up anything. We're almost out of chairs, like the fishbowl scenarios. I don't have to hype this up. We've got so many people here. So if you're here, ready? Ready? I know some of you are here. It's okay, but you can control that. You can fix this. If you're here, don't lose it. If you're here, get it going. And my final thought of the press, you have circle of influence, right? You have control. You have CPO talks. Is let's get the team bigger. My final thought. Let's PR the hell out of this team. Let's get more people. I love the steroid PRs that are happening. My conversation with Andrew yesterday, a couple of days ago, was one of my favorites. He's like, yeah, I can get like 3 to 5 of my friends who have never come in for an interview. The mom won't let them come in, or whatever the friends are. Or my one friend, she hasn't been old enough, and she just turned so-and-so. Well, how many can I get at Starbucks? And I'm going to meet with, I think, between 3 and 5 of his friends, and they're all going to sell 10K for their fast start 2 days after Christmas when Ricky rocks that seminar. We're going to sell 30 grand with like 5 reps, and all from Andrew. Oh, and then we had the training. Oh, and I didn't mention Esteban and Charles, and I'm just listing all AGL from Fort Lauderdale, and Luke and Steven and all those people, and Anna. Okay? On and on and on and on. And I could put the same example for Miami, same example for Fort Myers, same example for South Miami, and so forth and so forth. San Juan, Ponce. So let's multiply the team. We have a steroid PR program that we're really working towards. But we also have a new innovative program coming from one of the task force with the Facebook blasting. How innovative. Use the #1 social media network in the world to get more people to come to the job. It's genius, right? You guys are familiar. If you're not familiar, if you're familiar with LinkedIn, usually your junior and senior year is the platform where you really want to get serious about your LinkedIn account, because that's going to be your networking. And all the times employers will look at resumes and say, hey, Esteban Rec, we saw you on LinkedIn. We'd like to offer you, give you a chance. We'd be interested in interviewing you for a position. You're a junior or senior, and here's what we might have available. I still get them now. So if I don't get it for like entry level, I get it for like exec, whatever positions would be equal to what I'm doing, right? All the time on LinkedIn. Some people I even know, hey, Jeff, you sure you're still with an eyes? Like, yes, Steve Braun from Baltimore. He's like the #1 headhunter in Baltimore. Yes, Steve Braun, thank you. How's your family? Or, hey, we just saw your that. We love your experience, blah, 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 blah. We have this type of position. We'd love for you to maybe sit on this table at this board, blah, 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 blah. Well, for freshmen and sophomores, and isn't that our ideal recruit? High school seniors and then college freshmen and sophomores, like most of you. Raise your hand if you are a freshman or sophomore in college. Yeah, this is our market. Or a high school senior too as well. And Lou, there you go. There you go. Two guys. That's our market. So LinkedIn to juniors and seniors is Facebook to freshmen and sophomores. We're just essentially doing the same thing. This is the new flyering. Not replacing, but might. One day they might say, hey, just for sensitivity to campus presence and all these different crazy things that are going on in society nowadays, you can't do anything without being fearful. Facebook might be the only way we can actually get the word out. So instead of getting 1,000 business cards out of Miami at the Dadeland Mall, you get 1,000 Facebook posts out in 30 minutes from the Miami office. Okay? It's just really cool, innovative ways that we're trying to create recruiting. And I hope that you latch on to it, because we're going to create this. Imagine this team, right? We go to Year-End Banquet, or awards night. I can't shake it. Used to be called Year-End Banquet. Take to awards night. And awards night, can you imagine this team times 4? How about that for setting the tone for 2015? So I have, those thoughts are really easy. I even didn't even have to do any. I just put 5 notes into my phone about a week ago, and I already knew what I was going to say to you. It's build the team, CPO talks, circle of influence, control. Those are the 4. And get on the bus. Get on the bus. So I'm going to stop there before we dive into some instruction. Comments, questions, feedback, debrief, light bulb, Facebook, Twitter. No Twitter.
Like your life.
Districts included too. And then if anything. Nothing. Dario. Get on it. Get on it. That's right. Karina.
Just exciting. I know we have a lot of people, but the talent in this room is very. I just hope the talent doesn't go to waste.
Say it again.
Everyone's pretty talented here. I hope it doesn't go to waste. I hope everyone here find a place, next summer to suit you. But it's cool to see, that competition only makes you get better.
Yeah, you know the saying says hard work beats talent every time, right?
Yeah.
Who's raising your hand if you've heard that? Okay. You know the other quote to that? It says hard work. It's a T-shirt I saw. Hard work beats talent every time, until talent works hard. Right? I think it's probably an Alabama T-shirt. So it was like a prominent. It was a prominent sports scene that said hard work beats talent every time, unless you're talented and decide to work really hard.
I think it's Clemson.
Yeah, I think it's Clemson. Yeah, I think it's University of Men's, University of Maryland's. Nothing. Actually, nothing. Maybe basketball. Maybe basketball. But yeah, hard work beats talent every time. But if you're talented, you decide to work hard, no one beats you. Right? Ricky, with great power comes great responsibility, Uncle Ben. Peter. Yes, exactly. Shoots forward, yes. More. Anyone else? Go ahead. Sure.
This is one of the biggest meetings, I think, for me in the sector. Honestly, a year ago was the day when I talked to Kathy. At one point, I wanted to quit this meeting, because of where I was.
Who does that? Who wants to quit at this meeting? You. Now you're going to be a district manager. God bless America.
This was the same meeting that after this day, that's where I had the trajectory.
This is the meeting. The January prep? Oh my. True funny story during the holiday party.
Yeah, we'll tell you what. So, don't take this day for granted, the stuff that you need to hear. Some of it you probably already heard. But always pay attention and give it your attention.
Yeah, I think, sorry if I can piggyback off of that. I think everyone's kind of coming off a high. We're going into the break. We finished, or went to Oregon, which is obviously an awesome experience, but now it's time to really get to execute. There's no finals, no nothing. You have a few days with family, but you got to really show your stuff. And you can't do it now, then when can you? So make the most out of this and don't be afraid to show off. I think that's the biggest thing. I challenge everyone to do their best because you owe it to yourself to earn the best spot and train like you want the best spot. That's all I can say.
Yeah, just to figure out what's on Darrell. I say really do show off and really don't take the opportunity for granted, just because just from here last year, it's getting a lot more competitive, especially with the territory.
Double.
Being a lot more competitive as well. So just know that you really need to show out your opportunities that you want to get, especially now since we're going with you really have to show yourself. So.
It's a vacation state, guys.
I was just gonna say that kind of like what they were saying, but now is really is the time to bring it. I remember Adriano. He wasn't around locally to train, and he didn't train in any office before he went branch. And when he came back for the winter break, he was just in the office basically 24/7. He went to Christmas dinner on Christmas Day and Noche Buena. I remember I was there Christmas Eve that morning and he was there. He ran an interview that morning and he was there the next day. And this is a really huge training time because it's a mini summer, so you're going to be able to see all the things that we implement during the summer right now. And you're never going to see it like that until summer is actually there and you're freaking out. So
yeah, by show of hands, who's in that situation? Who is? I don't have an office. I don't go to school here. It's Fox. You have an office, but you just have it. Okay, it's different. Anna, no, raise it high. Chino, raise it high. I want to reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you. 5. Okay, 5 of you. You're my favorite stories. We're gonna go 5 for 5 this January. Okay, we're gonna go 5 for 5. Whether it's branch, whether it's assistant, I don't know yet. But what I do know is we're gonna go 5 for 5. Those are my favorite because you make it really easy for me to tell everyone to shut the fart up. So you shut the fart up.
Okay.
You like that, old lady? You just shut the fart up, right? Because when you have no office, you're not even in FC. The only time you see people is through Skype, maybe conference call at best, and you're still hitting matrix scores and still on point. You guys seen Fifth Element? You like that, Terrell? You like that one? Lulu Dallas multipass, baby. Anyway. Thank you. Good point, Marilyn. Anyone else? What else?
You're at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, we really are. We all are.
I think overlying theme or about the whole job and the whole opportunity is you control your own destiny.
Yeah.
You control whether you want to go branch or be assistant or not do anything.
You control it.
You control it.
Right place, right time. And I just want to be careful. I know when I have a comment, when I have opening comments like this, because I'm like feeling, I'm exuding heat from my energy. When I'm bringing the heat, like literally, I'm so hot, right? That's why I knew I wasn't going to wear a tie, by the way. Like on purpose, I knew I was going to say today, and I knew it was going to happen. But when I go off like this, it's very, the danger is this. Oh, it just feels good, and Jeff just knows how to get us more. And that's part of it. But there's work to be done. It's not just feel good. It's not just, holiday party. It's not just, gosh, it feels so good to be back. The culture. I love it. There's an element of that that's important. And that's why I do what I do, and I feel really good at what I do. Actually outstanding what I do. But there's an element of getting to work that we need to get done too. It's not just feel good. It's not just, okay, I'm in control. It's not just these light bulbs of personal growth, although I think they're awesome. It's using that to apply to work and getting your work done. Okay, I just want to be proud because it's very easy to walk out of this, man. Jeff just knows how to motivate you. And then I just become the hype man. I'm certainly not just the hype man, I can assure you. We'll get our stuff done. Watch the pilot this January. Oh, I watch it now. It's gonna see, Miss Culture.
Yeah. No, I just forgot to say one thing also,
Okay.
was that this is also the best time to save a lot of money for your startup. Last year at this time, I had all my assistant pay had been, being withheld, but then I raised it to 40% for my sales. And I remember saving like an extra like $1,200 to $1,500 during just December. And then right after the push, I kept it there and I saved like another grand. So you can save, like if you're not good in startup right now, you can save what you have to be in startup just during this time alone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's Christmas, like the best time to sell. And after Christmas, we have like the after Christmas sales, so it's like the best.
This is actually a quote. This is a quote from me. You ever seen the SC2 video? It's got like a bunch of dubstep music. And, I can't. Raise your hand if you know that song, that damn video. Okay. And I'm in that video, and there's a part where I'm like yelling on my talk, and it says, "If you don't like it, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Don't complain." I really believe that. If you don't like it, then change it. If you can't change it, then change your attitude. Don't complain. Okay? Not to put any affiliation of religion to you, but whoever you believe in, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Right? Give me the serenity to accept the thing. Like, ready? If you can't change it, okay, just hands off. Stop stressing it. Courage to change the things that I can. That takes courage. And then wisdom to know the difference. That's like, where do you put your energy? Remember that. I say that for every day. It's important, not just for business. What else?
This is amazing because this time last year I was in my fast start.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's cutie patootie.
I said to Ali Black was saying, hey, how's it going? And the AGL Prep teacher said, I just want to thank you so much for recommending me to this job. She's probably so much.
I might want to shed a tear. That's awesome. That is cutie patootie.
Just love the situation I'm in because it's just such an opportunity to go ahead of my peers. And I
That's
remember in my original interview, during the post interview, they asked me why they should take me, and that's what I said. I want to be better than my peers.
That's awesome. High school seniors, man. God, sorry. Even freshman, sophomore, you're already leaps and bounds ahead. Leaps and bounds ahead. I wasn't going to bring this example up, but I was talking to Heidi, and Heidi is team leader for her unit at the hospital. In other words, she's a senior resident. She's managing a lot of first-year residents. And she's 30. 31 tomorrow, by the way. Right? Say happy birthday if she's here. But she's managing a lot of 25-year-olds, 26-year-old people, like 3, 4, or 5 years younger than her. And she's like, asking for advice. What do I do here? I'm just telling her what I teach you guys. I'm just to Mr. Maseko's point here. Like, I'm just telling her things that we're teaching you, and the curve is set. Man, I said this to, I think, Erica, someone this morning. I said, one of my guys, maybe Karina could, Ricky could go to the hospital and probably get more things done administratively and get the team. Right? I taught her about 1 Minute Manager. I gave her that book. She's like, this is amazing. So you tell them what you don't like or what you like right away, so it either stops or it keeps going. I'm like, right? So anyway, go ahead.
Beth gave a really awesome wrap up on Wednesday, and I just kind of wanted to reiterate something that she said. And she mentioned that we're our own worst enemy, and how hard would you work if you weren't going to fail? or if, failure wasn't an option.
Yep.
And I just kind of think back to my summer and like failure was not in my vocabulary. Like I wasn't gonna let that happen. And I think it just goes to show like where are you mentally, and what are you gonna do to get yourself in a better place and just train at the highest level.
But I also think about you in the push week, right? How many people give up day 3 of the push, first quarter of the push? But then what's the opposite? Who becomes the I'm down $2,000, 2 days to go story? There's always, who's been that story? I love, those are my favorite stories. By the way, those move the matrix the most. That's where champions are made. Not the, oh, well, I mean, who respects someone where after the first 3 days, it's not going well, they get, oh, it's not going well. Oh, not even with Cutco offices for kitchen cutlery sales. Just in life, who wants the, oh, I didn't score any baskets the first quarter, I'm going to not play hard. What? Fool? You crazy? I threw an interception the first 2 throws, so I'm just going to not play hard. What? You've seen people do it. Who else? Come on, go ahead. Senor Delgado, welcome back from La Isla.
Thank you. What I would like to add is it all comes down to, in my opinion, a lot of personal accountability. You got to hold yourself responsible. You got to grow yourself, through all the advice that we get from our peers, from our senior leadership, from those people who have gone before you. And I can tell you, they do have the best interest at heart for you. And you have to listen to all those advices. You have to also check yourself every single time. Be like, am I doing something right now that's going to help me out? Am I doing something right now to help out the team? Am I doing something right now that's going to help out my matrix score, that's going to help me progress to or achieve the goals that I want to? If you have the goal of a branch, the goal of a district, the goal or of even improving a little bit, you need to set your goals higher than what you could possibly, get that stretch out there. Because if you don't try to reach for it, you're always going to fall short.
You better check yourself.
Before you wreck yourself.
Before you wreck yourself. That's the first thing I thought. Anyway, we'll have a couple more. Jarrell.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of what you just said, are you progressing? Are you doing something that's helpful? I know it was when we went to the DMC event this summer. I was talking with Brian Helmet. And I asked him, like, when he had his office going down? He was like, I knew it was going down when it wasn't going anywhere. There's no such thing as stagnation. Stagnation in itself is dead. If you haven't sold anything at this point in time, you're not stuck at that level. You're actually progressing. You're going backwards. Everything is moving forward and progressing. You need to be constantly moving, constantly working.
Okay.
Okay. Feeling growing or growing back.
That's right. I love that quote. So just know this. We're going to have a great session today. We're going to have a holiday party just to celebrate our team and the people here. And when we get to the holiday party, there's no CPO labels attached or startup labels or you're Mr. and Miss Late and you're Mr. and Miss Emotional, you're Mr. and Miss I just love the culture and nothing about the actual business. And then, all those labels are shed because the holiday party, we're going to celebrate our team and how great this team is regardless. Because if you're here, you're still here and you're still part of this team, damn it. That's the most important thing to remember. Regardless of how poopy your performance has been or how crazy you drive the division manager sometimes. It doesn't matter, you're still here. But between now and then, let's get to work. Between now and then, we're going to talk about PDI. We're going to watch the great Scott Dennis PDI video, which I don't understand why isn't part of every company office training, but it's the quintessential video. I watched it 6 times growing up in the business before branch and before assistant, and we're going to watch that together with the districts. So I want them to learn. We're going to watch a little bit of Kathy too, because she had a great session a couple weeks ago. We're going to dive into, with A Squad, we're going to dive into objectives of training. We're going to actually do some drill on opening comments and demeanor. I'm going to get more so presence and delivery. Maybe some names list. I think, God, we were talking about that. Maybe some names list as well, or personal fear bubble stories. Doesn't matter to me. We're going to role play. B Squad, we're going to get your interview down. Karina's going to help me with that, and Randy. We're going to get together. We're going to plan the push. We're going to get things we're going to light things up with your names list. I mean, there's a lot of things to accomplish today. Just know this. If you're a B Squad candidate, welcome. And now think of things as reset. Meaning if you don't have $1,000 in startup, a letter of intent, you are now jockeying for a position, for an assistant manager position, and you're in a pool of anywhere between right now 30 to 40 candidates. By the time we get to decision time, there'll be 50 to 60 candidates from all the new recruits coming in. So you'll be in a pool of 30 to 60 people vying for position to be an assistant manager somewhere here in Florida, Puerto Rico, maybe Virgin Islands, and possibly exporting with some of our branching exports and district exports, okay? So it's just like branching. right? We're not talking territories right now. You're just trying to get your spot up and then earn a position. So what I mean by that, let's say you're from Fort Lauderdale. I'm gonna use Charles, because Charles is on A squad. Let's say he was on B squad. If Charles is trying to be an assistant manager, because he's from Fort Lauderdale, it doesn't mean he's going to be an assistant in Fort Lauderdale. If he gets an assistant position, he'll get the position territory later. Okay, we do all that probably in March. Okay, so that's just the first food for thought. If you're A squad, doesn't mean you're going to earn a branch necessarily. And some of you will be in a position to definitely get a territory. I got your questionnaires. I'll look through those. 5 to 6 of you will represent our division in other divisions across the Eastern region, which is exciting. Some of you will be here in the pilot, Miami, South Miami, Miami Metro, North Miami, Fort Myers, San Juan, Ponce, Mayaoez, maybe some of our new district offices in Puerto Rico, Arecibo, Bayamon. We don't know. But what I do know is that there's an exciting opportunity, and time is now to get it done. Okay? So if you do me the honor and the privilege, put your stuff down. 30-second stretch. Better song. 30-second stretch. Stretch it out. A squad. See, simple. Not too many lines. Fits me kind of. A little bit of cup show. Of course. Yeah. All right, have a seat.
How's it one? How's it two? What doing?
The tablets, something fierce, man. Does that link up with the keyboard too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you. Okay, so if you could open up your files, please. If you notice in the folder, you take the AGL folder. There's a handout associated with this video. I'd like the districts to just as easily follow, just as I guess attentively follow along, please. Folder is folder number 6 in the AGL. It's a Scott Dennis PDI video, and it looks a little something like this. Power Pack PDI. No. So that's our generation. Here comes the hot stuff, bro. I was on the way to the office to the pilot, and the car next to me, some guy was smoking a cigarette. I'm just like, put my window up, and then I hear this, I like a brown, yeah, the Puerto Rican, Haitian. My name is Tribe Called Quest. You guys like Tribe who? Who's Tribe? Tribe Called Quest. Five Dog, Zulu Nation. Check. Did you say check the rhyme? You get a branch. You get a branch. All right, look at Scott Dennis in this joint. Woo! You said PETA? Okay, so